I have to say I think my girlfriend is gorgeous and striking. She has these beautiful, almost hazel eyes, long curly thick hair, and is toned like a midnight sky. I've never seen anyone who looks like her in person. Here's where I may be an idiot. I work in photography as a hobby after work and mainly do weddings and such, but have little to no experience in photos of people of color. So I asked to do some test shoots with her. When I showed her the touched-up photos, she said that she looked noticeably lighter in her skin tone and said that she didn't really like it. I honestly thought one of the photos might very well be my favorite photo of her ever and pointed out that I always think she's beautiful, but this photo is the most beautiful I've ever seen her. She asked me if that meant I wished her skin was lighter, but I reassured her that I don't obsess about what I can't change, and I always think she is the most attractive person in the room. She started talking about how she was discriminated against, and I quickly backtracked because I felt she was trying to say I might be racist. I am not. She said that it happens even in black communities, that people with darker skin are treated badly, and that because she is biologically an only child, all her siblings are lighter, and it was a point of bullying for her. I said, well, I am not black, so I am not shaming you, which my brain did the stupid sentence salad. I knew I sounded stupid, but she just went quiet and didn't really say much after that and didn't want to stay over after. She was a bit distant for a day and then texted the other night that we need to talk, essentially. I assume it's about this, and I'm worried it's over, but it feels so blown up by now. What do you guys think? Relevant comments. So, as a fellow photographer and wife in an interracial marriage, I will say you have to be very mindful here. The only time I actually lighten my husband or kids in any photos is when the lighting is too dark to clearly make out their facial features, and I do that very carefully. I am very pale in complexion, so photos with all of us have a wide range of complexions to manage. It can be a challenge to balance the lighting between us so that everyone is equally visible and complexion and tones are true. I have unintentionally lightened my daughter too much when the photo itself is a bit muddy, and then I have to go back and redo it because I'll realize I went too far. I've done more weddings of people of color than I have Caucasian and put a lot of effort to not unintentionally whitewash the skin tone. It's obvious she does not want her skin lightened in photos, so your primary goal should always be focused on keeping her skin tone true. My daughters care a lot about having their skin tone accurately represented. The presets I tend to use vastly change the overall tone of images, but work well on brown skin, but I'll still go through them very carefully and make sure that I have not adjusted anything that misrepresents the shade of their skin. I also use my daughters as a second set of eyes when I'm editing to make sure I've accurately edited the skin tones, since it's easy to tip over into over-editing. It sounds like the way she sees your edits is that you are consistently lightening her complexion, and to her, it's doing exactly what society has always done, equates lighter with better. So you need to reevaluate your perception here. The statement that you made regarding your favorite photo of her ever is particularly harsh if it's a lightened version of her complexion. Apologize to her. And maybe it would be a good idea to sit down and go through an edit with her and make note of how to edit photos in a way that doesn't misrepresent her skin tone and that she feels is an honest and beautiful portrayal of her beauty. Thank you. That actually makes sense. I am on my way to speak with her soon, so this helps me better understand and articulate what I need. I love her, but I am human and screw up sometimes, and I wanted to understand more. This makes more sense to me than the random insults I've been reading. Update 1. I have called her and spoken with her, and thanks to the 3 actually civil commenters and 2 messages who shared some mature insights, I was able to see where I went wrong. I am on my way to speak with her in person to apologize properly. I have already picked up flowers and wrote an apology also in a card. Fingers crossed. As I've said many times, I love her so much, but I am human and screw up, so hopefully, apologizing and owning my mistake will be enough. I know I don't deserve her, she's far out of my league on every level, but I will work hard to try. It's very disheartening to find so many people on here that are so quick to throw insults and weighted terms and wish for calamity upon another human being. I wish you all peace someday, and I suggest you replace the hate in your hearts with empathy, patience, and love. I will update soon, as despite the trolls, some genuinely good people have reached out, and I am grateful. You saved me from making an even worse mistake and for sure losing someone I hold dear. Update 2. To some of your joy and others' dismay, my girlfriend did not break up with me, nor me with her. I invited her out to her absolute favorite restaurant, got dressed up, had flowers, and wrote an apology in a card. The card said on the front "mean people suck," and on the inside it said "I am sorry," where I wrote out how I completely messed up, hurt the woman I adore and admire, and I was so incredibly sorry. I apologized in person too, of course, and at first, she had no expression. She just listened to me, and I was getting nervous, so I started rambling and stuttering and sounded like an idiot. But she leaned forward and touched my knee and told me she appreciated me taking time to apologize like this. She had already forgiven me, and asked if she could talk about it to me, which of course I said yes. She explained further that it took her years to love her skin and how she was bullied by strangers, friends, and family alike for her dark skin. She said the Black Panther movies meant so much to her in part because of how diverse the skin tones, hair, and builds of black people were represented, and she loved that a dark-skinned black woman was prominently on a poster for it. She told me that she foresaw hurdles as we are an interracial couple, but me calling the photo my favorite made her feel that I secretly wished she were lighter, and it reignited a deep insecurity. I apologized and reiterated that she is the most beautifully striking woman I have ever seen, and that I feel she is out of my league a million times over. I did not show or appreciate that when I got defensive. I conceded that it was not her job to educate me on racism or microaggression, but she said while she agrees, she prefers me to just talk to her, ask questions, and accept feedback. I agreed as long as I didn't overburden her with it, as I intend to resume my previously paused therapy and start getting more educated. She's actually really interested in my photography and wants to learn how to edit for fun and also to potentially help me out when she says I blow up and get too many clients to handle. I am falling in love with her all over again. I know I don't deserve her love or patience, but I am a lucky man indeed. I ended up showing her my first post, and she laughed at me for being clueless but helped me feel better after some of the bashing I received. She's a really sweet person, and I love her so much. It was a brief chat only because she volunteers on Saturdays, but she accepted my invite for me to spoil her tonight by taking her to her favorite hot pot place and buying her whatever she wants as a feeble attempt to partly mend things. I told her anytime she feels othered or is hurt because of the complexity of our backwards world still not treating humans like humans, to please consider speaking to me about it. While she doesn't have to, I wanted her to know she always can, and I will always be there to listen. We plan to take an editing class together, this time by a photographer of color, and I cannot wait. Thanks to all who have been kind and civil while gently helping me navigate to this place. I still have a lot of making up to do, but I feel like I am back on the right track. Update 3. My girlfriend and I had a really long and deep conversation and are feeling really good about things. I invited her over to watch Netflix and I have cooked dinner. She's been really sweet to this old asshole she's dating. I cannot express my relief, but I know I am in the midst of learning and unlearning things. Someone sent me a few books over Kindle to read, and I want to say thank you. I'm already midway through one, and it's been eye-opening. Much love to all of you. Good night.